Are you ready to intentionally create the love you desire? If so, you're in the right place. Today we're diving into what makes a relationship healthy and how to recognize when it's time to walk away.
The first step is identifying the green flags and red flags in your partner to determine whether they're capable of co-creating a safe and secure relationship you and all of us deserve.
This is part 1 of our series, How to Create a Relationship Vision for Intentional Love. In this video, we'll share the 5 most important green flags to look for in a partner and the 5 red flags to watch out for.
And in part 2 of this series, coming later this week, we'll build on this foundation by walking you through how to identify your very own must-haves and deal breakers, unique to your specific need in a partnership.
By the end of this video, you'll know what these flags look like, why they matter, and how this information can help you build the kind of relationship you truly want.
And be sure to stay until the end, because we're sharing a bonus tip that's often overlooked but vital for creating a healthy, secure relationship.
So let's start with the positives, the green flags, and then we'll move into the red flags you'll want to watch out for.
Green flags are the building blocks of trust and safety in a relationship. They aren't about perfection, because who among us is perfect? I like to say we're all perfectly imperfect. But these green flags reveal patterns that support healthy connection and growth. So let's dive into the 5 key green flags to watch for.
Someone with authenticity is consistent across all settings. Their behaviors and their decisions reflect their core values and principles, even when it's difficult or unpopular. Think about that idea that a person is the sum average of the 5 people they spend the most time with. So pay attention. If someone is gentle and kind with you, but behaves disrespectfully around their friends, that's a sign of misalignment. Maybe they're using language or gossiping in ways that surprise you, and you ask them about it later for them to just brush it off with, "That's just how I am around my friends." It's worth remembering Maya Angelou's famous words, "When someone shows you who they are, believe them." With this consistency of character comes a sense that you can rely on them, because an authentic person's words and actions align, creating a feeling of safety and predictability. Now, this doesn't mean they're perfect, but it means they're dependable. You don't have to second guess their feelings or intentions because they show up for you in a consistent way. So, for example, if they say they'll call after work, they follow through. Now, of course, there may be the occasional missed text or forgotten plan, but a healthy partner demonstrates consistency over time. And as time goes on, this consistency and reliability builds security in the relationship. So you're not left wondering or guessing. Rather, you know that you can count on them and you know where you stand.
Vulnerability is another green flag of a healthy partner. It's the willingness to show up as one's true self, strengths and imperfections alike, without fear of judgment. Have you ever felt safe enough with someone to share your fears or struggles without worrying about how they'd respond? That's what vulnerability feels like. It looks like emotional honesty, being present, available, and open to connecting during meaningful or tough conversations. And here's where you come in. Are you providing a safe space for your partner to be vulnerable? Healthy relationships require both partners to meet each other with empathy and the ability to accept one another's imperfections.
A healthy relationship thrives on mutual respect. A secure partner values your individuality and autonomy. They encourage you to pursue your goals, hobbies, and relationships outside of the partnership. They don't see you as merely an extension of themselves, but as a whole person with your own dreams and aspirations. This respect creates an environment of safety and support, where both partners feel free to live authentically. Some examples of mutual respect in action: they listen and engage when you talk about your goals, offering encouragement and support. They respect your boundaries without pressuring you into anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. They celebrate your successes and they stand by you during your challenges, actively showing you they want the best for you. Mutual respect fosters growth and deepens trust. creating a relationship where both partners feel valued and seen.
Self-awareness is a cornerstone of emotional maturity. A healthy partner understands their emotions, motivations, and boundaries, and they communicate these openly and kindly. But self-awareness doesn't mean having it all figured out. But it's about willing to recognize when they don't fully understand something and taking action to grow. When they realize they have a personal blind spot or an area of confusion, they don't shy away from it. Instead, they engage in the work necessary to gain clarity. This could look like journaling, reflecting, talking things through with you or a trusted friend, or even seeking support from a therapist. Self-awareness also shows up as accountability. A healthy partner takes responsibility for mistakes instead of deflecting blame or making excuses. They're not afraid to say, "You're right, I could have handled that better, and I'll work on it." This combination of humility and proactive growth allows them to navigate challenges with grace and authenticity, fostering a relationship built on trust and mutual respect. Examples of this in action could be, they acknowledge when they've hurt you and ask what things they can do to make it right. They reflect on situations to better understand their emotions and reactions. And they're open to feedback and take steps to improve, demonstrating a commitment to personal growth. A partner with self-awareness and emotional maturity creates a safe and nurturing environment for connection. Their willingness to learn and grow, not despite their blind spots, but because of them, is a powerful green flag for a healthy relationship.
Healthy communication is the foundation of any strong relationship. It's not about avoiding disagreements or always saying the perfect thing. Instead, it's about how both partners show up when they speak and when they listen. In a healthy relationship, communication happens without criticism, defensiveness, stonewalling, or contempt. These are the 4 behaviors John Gottman identified in his research that can quickly erode trust and connection. Instead, healthy communication focuses on seeking to understand each other and hearing the longing behind the complaint. For example, imagine a partner says, "I feel sad because we don't spend as much time together as we used to." An unhealthy response might look defensive, saying, "That's not true. I'm busy and you never appreciate what I do." But a healthy communicator allows themselves to hear the longing for connection in their partner's complaint, which allows them to respond empathetically. They might say, "I didn't realize you felt that way. Can you help me understand more of what you need from me?" This kind of communication is about leaning into hard conversations with curiosity instead of defensiveness. It means showing empathy, honesty, and a shared commitment to connection. And when you find someone who communicates this way, it's a green flag worth holding on to. If you want to dive deeper into how to cultivate healthy communication, check out our video linked above, where we explore practical ways to move beyond criticism and defensiveness and build a stronger, more connected relationship.
Each of these green flags, authenticity, vulnerability, mutual respect, self-awareness, and healthy communication, they're all the building blocks of trust, emotional safety, and connection. They help you to create the kind of relationship where both partners feel seen, valued, and empowered. When you look for these green flags, you're laying the foundation for the kind of love you truly deserve.
Now that we've covered the green flags, let's shift gears and talk about the red flags, the warning signs that a relationship might not be healthy or sustainable. While green flags help you to build trust and safety, red flags reveal patterns that break it down. These are the behaviors that make you question whether someone can co-create the kind of love you deserve. Let's dive into the 5 key red flags to watch out for and why they matter.
Inconsistency is a major red flag because it creates confusion and instability. One common example is love bombing. At first, they shower you with attention, constant texting, grand gestures, but this isn't about genuine connection. It's a manipulative effort to win you over. Once they feel secure in the relationship, their behavior changes. They go from warm and loving to cold or dismissive, leaving you wondering what happened. Trust your instincts. If someone's behavior makes you question where you stand, it's worth taking a closer look. And let's be clear, this isn't about forgetting to text back occasionally. It's about a pattern of unpredictability that keeps you chasing their affection, hoping to recapture the connection you had in the beginning of the relationship. And be careful here. Too many people hold on to these relationships, falsely believing that if they're lovable enough, they can get back to those early glory days. But the truth is, the person your partner initially presented themselves as isn't who they truly are. So ask yourself, are you chasing the version of someone you met early in the relationship? If so, it's a sign to pause and reevaluate.
Dishonesty erodes trust, and it starts with a false persona. Some people present a charming, polished image to impress others, your friends, parents, their boss, but they behave very differently behind closed doors. This is what I call the Eddie Haskell effect. If you're not familiar, Eddie Haskell was a character from the 1950s sitcom Leave It to Beaver. He was charming and polite in front of authority figures, showering them with compliments, but behind their backs, he was sneaky and manipulative. So ask yourself, do they treat people with kindness and respect even when there's nothing to gain? And here's a quick test. How do they treat service workers, like the food server on your first date? If they're rude or dismissive to someone in a position of service, that's a red flag. Authentic people treat others with kindness and respect, regardless of the situation. So remember, if it feels like you're seeing two different versions of someone, that inconsistency might signal a lack of authenticity.
Emotional unavailability shows up as a lack of vulnerability and connection. Vulnerability is what allows us to build deep relationships, but an emotionally unavailable partner avoids meaningful conversations, dismisses your feelings, or shuts down when things get hard. For example, if every time you share something personal, like a concern about the relationship or a struggle in your life, they deflect, dismiss, or criticize, it's a sign they may not be ready to meet you in a space of openness and connection. So remember, a secure relationship should feel like a safe harbor during life's storms. That doesn't mean we're constantly unloading all our struggles on our partner. Sometimes we need outside support, like a therapist. But in general, your partner should feel like an anchor, not be someone who makes you feel more adrift.
Manipulative behaviors are another hallmark of an unhealthy relationship. Manipulation often involves twisting the truth, guilt-tripping, or making you doubt your own perceptions. For instance, have you ever apologized for expressing your needs, only to feel like you were wrong for speaking up in the first place? Control might start subtly, like asking for constant updates on where you are, or making negative comments about your friends or family. But over time, this can escalate into isolation, dictating how you spend your time or pressuring you to prioritize their needs over your own. Manipulation can erode your sense of self and make you question your instincts over time. So pay attention. If you find yourself frequently feeling confused, second-guessing yourself, or noticing a pattern of possessive behavior, a healthy relationship helps to empower you, not control you.
Empathy is essential in any relationship. It's the ability to understand and share someone else's feelings. Without it, relationships become one-sided and emotionally draining. So how can you tell if someone lacks empathy? It might show up as dismissiveness, belittling your feelings, or failing to acknowledge your perspective. As an example, they may do something hurtful, only to insist it was you who hurt them by questioning their motives and not trusting them. They may also respond to your pain with indifference. You may share something personal or stressful, hoping for support, but instead receive criticism or apathy. All of this can signal an inability, or worse, unwillingness to connect with your emotions. And over time, this can leave you feel isolated and unseen in the relationship. Healthy love requires the willingness to seek to understand your partner's perspective and felt experiences.
Red flags matter because they point to patterns that undermine trust, safety, and connection. If these patterns are present, they're not just quirks or issues to fix. They're signals that the relationship might not be capable of providing the security and growth you're looking for. When you recognize these red flags, you're not just protecting yourself, you're opening the door to finding a relationship that aligns with your vision for intentional love.
And now for the bonus tip. As you evaluate both red and green flags, ask yourself, who are you bringing into the relationship? It's easy to focus on what you're looking for in a partner, but the truth is, we attract and sustain relationships that reflect our own patterns. If you want a partner with green flags and not red flags, you need to embody those qualities as well. So really take an honest look at yourself. Are you engaging in healthy communication? Do you show empathy and respect? Relationships are co-created, and your own growth is a vital part of building the connection you desire.
No relationship is perfect, not even ours, although it's pretty close. The goal isn't to nitpick every mistake, but to recognize patterns that either build trust or break it. Trust your gut when something feels off, and don't dismiss consistent red flags in hopes that your efforts alone can return your relationship to the glory days. When you notice red flags, ask yourself, is this something we can work on together in a meaningful way, or is this a deeper issue tied to their character or inability to connect that will likely persist regardless of my efforts?
And healthy love isn't about perfection. It's about a willingness from both partners to learn and grow. And while red flags are important, don't forget to celebrate the green flags too. These are the patterns that create safety, respect, and growth in your relationship.
And this is just the beginning of building awareness in your relationships. In our next video, we'll explore how to create your personal relationship vision by identifying your must-haves and your deal breakers, which are unique to you, to guide you in making your choices more intentionally.
And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss part 2 of this deep dive into intentionally creating the love you long for. And if this video resonated with you, share it with someone you care about, because everyone deserves a healthy, secure, and loving relationship.
Thank you for spending this time with us. Until next time, remember, love should feel safe, authentic, and empowering. You're worthy of that kind of connection. So let's do this together.